get to the truth about what's taking place with the boys' trip to Vegas and this corrupt premier. The more desperate they're becoming to deflect and distract from the really important questions that we're asking.
One would argue your back is up against the wall as well with the debate over Sarah Jama, and now she's pinned her tweet. Not only has she not retracted it, she's actually pinned that. Is that a sign of defiance against you?
No, we are very united. If you've heard my chief whip talk today, he's fantastic. Look, we're not going to allow this government to continue to do this distraction, deflection. This is a government that has their back up against the wall. They've shown that they will do absolutely anything and stoop to just the most disgusting actions and lowest lows in order to avoid the questions that the official opposition that people of Ontario have about their land speculation grab and their friends who are land speculators and the cash for access culture that they brought back to this province.
Mara, we talked to some ministers today that said you used some very unparliamentary language today. What did you say?
I didn't say anything. I don't know what they're talking about, but it just, to me, it just shows, again, the government is so desperate to change the channel. They'll say anything, they'll do anything.
Well, they're claiming that you used the F word,
No,
that you said F off to somebody, and that the education minister did you tell anybody to F off?
No, I did not, and I will not. And it's
What did you say?
I think I got up in the House and said that I thought they were disgusting when I spoke in the record on that.
Well, what about when you sat back down and the microphone was
I didn't
on?
say anything. And I really, I have to say that this is like, this government, they're just making stuff up now. They're just making stuff up to try to distract from what's really going on here. And I will say, I think that the fact that we submitted another lengthy request for an investigation to the Integrity Commissioner today really turned up the heat. This government has something to hide. They have a premier who rarely shows up at all, and when he does, he will not answer questions. They are desperate to deflect, and they will even go so far as to try to mislead the public to protect their land speculator friends and their corrupt premier.
But Sarah Jama is not a distraction, though. She pinned the tweet that you told her to retract. She marched up this Bay Street with a group of people where a Hamas flag was present, where they chanted from the river to the sea. Her apology has been dismissed by Jewish groups, and she's now pinned the original statement. Have you lost control in your caucus?
This is an attempt, again, by the premier and his
No,
government
this is about
to
anti-Semitism.
deflect. And as you will know, we have spoken out very strongly, and we will continue to, in line with our federal party position. And our MPP, when she made the initial tweet, she was very clear in saying that she condemns the Hamas terrorist attacks against Israeli civilians, and she's
saying that they
and
had it coming is
continues
still up.
to reaffirm our party's position when it comes to this terrible situation.
Were you surprised to see it pinned, though?
I don't even know what it really means, to be honest. I don't take
Right
it
at the
very
top of her
seriously.
page.
Well, I mean, to me, again, these questions that the premier and the government keep trying to use, it's all an attempt to deflect from what the pressure that they're under. They are under an RCMP criminal investigation. This is unprecedented.
Aren't you both trying to deflect from issues
This is
here?
Look, first of all, as
Okay, what
I've
do you say
said
to the Jewish
publicly,
groups then?
as I've said over and over again, I find it deeply distasteful that a government in this moment, when people in this province and around the world are so facing such tragedies, this government would use these opportunities to inflame division and hate and anti-Semitism and Islamophobia and anti-Palestinian sentiment is reprehensible. This is a time when we should be, as legislators, bringing people together, right? Showing real leadership. This government refused to even consider an amendment that we put forward that really would have shifted the tone of the conversation into something that clearly, put peace at the forefront and humanity. I find this a great tragedy, and I think it's reprehensible the way the government is behaving, especially at a time when we should be showing leadership and bringing people together.
Mark, the Sarah Jama motion to censure her is eventually going to come for a vote.
Yes.
How are you going to vote?
We are going to vote against it. Absolutely 100%. outrageous and anti-democratic.
One of the questions, Mara, is last week you asked Sarah Jama in your tweet or in your statement to retract her statement, and I can't remember if it said delete it or not, but anyway, so now instead it's still up there, and instead of retracting it, as Cynthia and Richard said, it's now pinned, which effectively highlights it. So why have you changed, like, have you changed your mind on that?
I spoke to MPP Jama at great length. We have resolved this. You know, we are united, and we are absolutely 100%. You know, she did the right thing in condemning the attacks on Hamas, which was the only mistake she made at the beginning, I feel. And so, I think at the end of the day, you know, for us, the government's actions are an attempt. I absolutely believe what they're trying to do here is detract and deflect from the very real and important questions that Ontarians have that this government doesn't want to answer to. And so we are not going to allow them to distract us from this work. We are going to continue to hold them to account, and we are going to stand with our MPP because their attack on this legislator, and I mean, what is next, right? What will be next? They are taking away the right of a Muslim woman to sit in this legislature and represent her constituents. And we are not alone in condemning them for that.
Will MPP Jama be here for the vote?
I'm MPP Jama. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Go ahead.
But she represents Jewish constituents as well, and many are expressing deep hurt over her initial tweet. And an MPP
which is
does
why
represent.
why we had her apologize.
But an MPP is supposed to represent everyone
That's
equally, right? So
Yeah, and
how
that's
does somebody do? I mean, this is look. If this is a divisive, awful, horrible situation
Yeah, it is.
that is causing a lot of hurt for a lot of different people, but shouldn't an MPP tread that line very carefully and not offend one group over another?
That's right, and that's why she did actually apologize for omitting that reference and not making it immediately clear that she condemned the Hamas attack. And I cannot state strongly enough that what this government is doing, this motion that they have brought forward to the floor of this legislature, both of these motions, but this one motion that is so divisive, it is designed to divide people. And we will not allow that to happen. You know, we are a party, and I am a leader who believes in peace and social justice and humanity. And I will not allow this government to play these games with the people of this province. It is dividing people. People are losing their lives on the other side of the world, but they are also fearful here. Everyone is fearful. They are living in fear, and this government is using, in the most callous way and cynical way, the floor of this legislature, the debates that take here, to further inflame hate in this province, and we will not stand for it.
What is so wrong with her coming here in person and speaking in the legislature and clarifying her position?
Well, you know what? We believe that this government is playing a game here. She has apologized. She will make that clear again and again, I'm sure. And I'm absolutely not going to stand for this government continuing to use this opportunity to deflect from the very real questions that the people of this province have. People in this province are suffering. We can't make the rent. People can't make their mortgages. And this government, and people in certain communities are feeling a lot of fear right now. And this government is cynically using this opportunity to try to deflect from the very real issues that people have, and the fact that they are being investigated criminally by the RCMP. It is one of the lowest moments for a government in the province's history. And the fact that they are using these motions and these opportunities and exploiting this is so deeply cynical and disgusting.
Now that you've learned about this pinned tweet, you said that you have spoken with her at length. Will you be talking with her again?
I will continue to talk to MPP Jama. I check in on all of my MPPs because it's a very difficult time right now.
Last question.
You don't think that it's actually because they're hurt, not because they're trying to deflect? Like, is there not enough space in the House for more than one topic?
I think this government has used, not only have they put forward these very divisive and inflammatory motions, but they've actually very cynically moved amendments that do nothing really substantial just to block the opposition's attempt to put some balance into this conversation about what's happening in the region. So they not only do they move a motion, but they actually have rejected and blocked our attempts to bring some balance and humanity to this conversation. It is appalling. Thank you very much.